All right, we are live. And hello, Nick Ingram here, and Nick Ingram HQ. I have almost, so I'm going to share the story today where I almost ruined our business by a decision that I made, or almost didn't make, rather. And today, just thinking about the businesses that want to start a business or grow their business, I created this channel. So people have the opportunity to kind of see what we've done in our business and some of the things that we've been a part of over the last 17 years. So 17 years we've been in business. The last 7 years have been really great years of our business, but the first 10 years pretty much sucked. So our first 10 years of our business, it was just terrible. I say our business. It was basically a laptop, a 24-inch cutter, called a Mountain Dew and a bag of Doritos. So working out of first my mom's living room, and then an apartment that me and a friend built, and then after I got married, Maggie and I got married, worked in our house. So really the first 10 years looking back, it wasn't a real business. At the time Maggie and I got married, I was a youth pastor at a small church, owned this business. I had to have several jobs, part-time jobs, and it was my last semester in college, the 4 months before we got married. That's a whole different story. But I just remember it was probably, about 11, 12 years ago, about a year into our marriage, I was trying to grow this business, trying to build this business, and Maggie couldn't find a job locally. We got married. She had moved from Hattiesburg to where I lived in Pine, and just nothing was working. So we had overextended ourselves with a brand new car that cost us $400 a month. Her truck note, which cost us $400 a month. By the time we paid for insurance, we were into $1,000 a month just in our two vehicles with starting a business and having to work several jobs. It was just ridiculous. I just remember days when it was hard for us to even buy food, and we were very poor, very broke at the time. We weren't poor. I believe poor is a state of mind, and broke is just a circumstance and situation. So we were definitely broke at this time of our life, and made some really, really stupid decisions. And I just remember us being in prayer about what we need to do, where we need to go, what we need to do, what next steps do we need to take. I've lived in Franklinton my whole life. And so I remember the little tiny 900 square foot home that we had renovated and moved into. We had friends help us renovate our bedroom. I guess I designed this. I know she didn't. The ceiling was black and the walls were red, no, or vice versa. Anyway, it looked like going back to like a vampire's lair. Our bedroom, it was weird, very strange. I'm sure that I chose those colors because Maggie is a great interior designer. It shows in the homes that we have now how great they're decorated in the colors. I have no decisions in designing our homes, the colors or the layouts or anything. All I am is the get it done guy. So that's my job, is just to get it done, whatever she wants. And so I remember being in this room, in our bedroom, and we had been praying. I feel like I was locked in there for a week. We had been praying and fasting about what to do. And because there's just so many things that were happening to us that we just felt like something needed to break. And so we were praying and fasting for a week. And I remember Maggie looking up at me and saying, "It's time to move." I'm like, inside I'm thinking, crap, no. I'm thinking this is a bad idea. I've never moved away from Pine, Louisiana. I live in the bubble of Pine, population 350. And I was like, God, surely God, is not moving us away. There's so much to do. There's all these thoughts running in my mind. And I just had this internal like, oh gosh, I knew that when we told my family, they were not going to be happy either. And so it was just this really, really tough moment in my life that I had to decide. I just trust Maggie and I trust God, and as I began to not oppose the will of God for our life, basically, I got confirmation as well and realized it was time to go, and so we leave. So we leave Pine. We take our first stop in Hattiesburg, and that just didn't work out. And so we landed in Columbia. After being in Columbia for about, I'd say 6 months or so, a business came up for sale. It was a sign business. So I've already been in the sign business, still making signs on the side, working for another or a large sign company. And I'm doing my business on the side. I'm printing shirts. I'm doing decals and business cards and signs and all sorts of crazy stuff. And there's crazy stories about me where I take a guy's money and didn't make the sign, and because it was like half cash, half trade. We were trading out some goods and services. I just didn't have the money to finish the job, so it's crazy stories along the way getting us to Columbia. So I remember we get to Columbia, we find a business, we buy the business, and then after about probably was 3 years ago. So 3 years ago, we keep growing the business, and every year we're doubling the revenue in our business, and things are just going really well. And after about 3 years ago, I got this opportunity to do the largest job ever that I've ever done in my life. Like, the revenue on this job alone would have been half of our revenue for the entire year. We did this job in about 6 weeks. So huge opportunity, huge possibilities. And so we get the contract. I'm freaked out of my mind because it's just a huge job, a huge undertaking. I hire employees to help me do the job. And when we get about 3 weeks in, and I get a call from the manager, the guy who had hired me for this company, and he's just cussing. He is fussing at me and cussing and telling me where I can go. And I have a very deep complex of wanting to approval, and I hate disappointing people. That's been my internal struggle my whole life, is just disappointment. Disappointing people. I don't want to disappoint anybody. And so I'm walking, I remember being in my truck, and he calls me, and he says, this is going to cost us tens of thousands of dollars. The vinyl is literally coming off the trucks. You're an idiot. I can't believe we did this. This is crazy. There's no way to fix this. It was just like ultimate, not even like a watermelon in my throat. And so I'm like, how am I even going to recover? They had paid me half of the money. I'd spent it on materials and hiring guys and paying guys. And I'm like, how am I going to recover from this? So I remember going to my house and sitting outside of my truck and just crying. I mean, I was just like, never been this upset in my life. Up to that point, I've had even crazier stuff happen since then, but up until that point, I had never had this kind of experience. And so I remember wiping my tears off of my face, going inside, and I have to tell Maggie what happened. And so I'm sitting inside, and I remember at some point I told her, and I'm sitting inside our house, and it's getting dark, and I remember this book that I had bought, and I had read some of it. I'd read some of the book, and I remember just seeing that book and picking that book back up, and I get the book, and the book, the tagline on the book is how to get from where you are to where you want to be. And I'm like, well, if there's any time to read this, it's right now. And so I grabbed this book, and I just start reading some of the book, and I just get through chapter 1. And chapter 1 is take 100% responsibility. And I read through this chapter, and it just says, own it. Take 100% responsibility for your life, make decisions, and own your mistakes, and just get it done regardless of the cost. And so that's what I did. After that, the next day, I woke up, I called the manager, and I said, look, if you'll let me, I'll fix this, and I'll fix it at my cost. So I figured out how to scrape up enough money to pay for materials, took out loans and credit cards, and to get this job done. And we finished the job. And in record time. And we went from we didn't go from zero to hero, but we went from zero to at least it's so stupid, John. We go from zero to at least back on the table. And now, I mean, even today in our company, that company represents at least 30% of our yearly revenue, because we picked it up and did that job and took 100% responsibility. And that book is The Success Principles by Jack Canfield. I don't have a copy of that book because I gave that book away. I gave my copy away to someone else to read and to hopefully change their life. But today, if you'll like our page and you'll message me, I'll send you the summary of that book. I have a summary of the book. It's a 40-minute read of that book. I encourage everybody to read that book. And in addition, what we've done on our page, Nick Ingram HQ, so facebook.com, Nick Ingram HQ, over the next year, what we're going to do is I'm going to start unboxing our business and talking about how literally those principles have totally changed our business, and how we've implemented the principles in that business. You should buy that book. You should definitely go buy that book. It changed my life, and I know it'll change your life as well if you're watching this. But if you'll go like our page and you'll message me that you liked our page, I'll send you a 40-minute summary of that book, which is incredible. I just read through most of it again this morning, just kind of refreshing my mind about it. And it's a really good thing. So like our page, we're going to start unboxing our business. And I hope you enjoy the lessons that come out of these unboxings. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you tomorrow.